Hello everyone, welcome back to Scented Moments channel. I'm Jolima, and today I want to talk about some fragrances that if you already have, you don't need. Other fragrances that are in the same genre. Not exactly clones, but well, they are in the same genre. They share a lot of similarities, at least. I have here 6 fragrances. Some are niche, some are designer. I already did a similar video but still different, in a different perspective, which was if you love these fragrances then you might enjoy other fragrances, but in this case it's different. So I have here in my hand a fragrance from the house of Rasasi, and it is Yuqawam, this one right here. And of course, if you already have Yuqawam, you don't need Tuscan leather, you don't need Ombre leather, nor you need any type of inspired by Tuscan leather fragrances. This one serves wonderfully. This is a fantastic blend of raspberry and leather. The raspberry here is quite prominent, great quality in my opinion, unique looking bottle to say it least, and the price is unbeatable. I mean, we are talking about what, between 50 to 70 euros. So I think this is a no-brainer, especially if you are considering the price of Tom Ford fragrances. Even you have in the niche world, for example, Godolphin, which is very similar to Tuscan leather. It's quite expensive, and this one is a no-brainer. This is a 75 ml bottle size, and will last you for a very long time because the performance, it's borderline nuclear, so you don't need a lot of sprays to enjoy this fragrance. If you love Tuscan leather, if you love Ombre leather, check this one out. I think it's the best in the raspberry leather blend. So Yuqawam starting off this list. The next fragrance that I'll mention is a fragrance from the house of Floris, and it is Honey Oud. This one right here. I really like the bottle presentation of Floris, very classy and sophisticated. This one, again, man, it's classy, it's sophisticated, it's mature, it's elegant, fantastic blend between honey and oud. Of course, the oud here, it's not skanky, it's not animalic, it's not overly resinous or dark. Here you have much more honey than oud, but yet you have this dark woodsy accord. Great blend, mature, gentlemanly type of scent, and if you already have this one, you don't need Montale Ani Aoud. In Montale's, the oud, it's much more prominent, but it's more daring. It's fuller in a way that the performance, it's nuclear. This one, it's more subtle, but the longevity, it still is quite good. The sillage that leaves, the scent trail that leaves, it's really good. So I think this one is much more versatile. And the scent character, it's similar, but it has their differences. This one, the honey here, it's much more prominent, and in Montale's, the oud, it's much more prominent. But I think this one, it's much more balanced, more refined, it's more versatile, it's more likable, I would even say. So that's why I'm saying that Honey Oud by Floris, if you already have this one, you don't need Montale Ani Aoud. The next fragrance that I'll mention, it's from the house of Tom Ford, and it is Tobacco Vanille. If you're already following this channel for a while, you know that I love this one. One of my all-time favorites, not just because of the scent character, but also because of the memories that I have attached to this fragrance. But the scent, it's a delicious, spicy, addictive vanilla with tobacco. Great fragrance, Christmas in a bottle. Tobacco Vanille has fantastic performance. Some say that it was reformulated, and I believe that, but I never tried the original formulation, so I don't know. I can't compare how it was then and how it is now, but at least this formulation works wonderfully. I don't have any complaints at all with performance about Tobacco Vanille. And if you already have this one, you don't need any clone, any inspired by fragrance of Tobacco Vanille, in my opinion. Tobacco Vanille just works wonderfully. You also have in the niche world, I think it's from the house of Phaedon, you have one fragrance, Tabac Rouge, which is very similar to Tobacco Vanille. Yes, it's more affordable, but it's not the same, doesn't have the depth, doesn't have tobacco heads, it's more about vanilla and cinnamon. I think this one, it's much better. Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. If you already have this one, you don't need any other tobacco and vanilla type of fragrance. Another fragrance that I have here, it's from the house of Lalique, and it is Encre Noire à l'extrême. Oh man, this one is my favorite from the Encre Noire line, and it's, wow, it's stunning. If you love vetiver, check this one please. Here in Portugal it's hard to find, and because you just find this one in Notino, and it's not affordable as it once was. When I purchased this one back in 2017 or 2018, this was for about, I paid 30 euros, 35 euros max. I didn't pay more. But now at Notino here in Portugal, it's 80 euros. We still have Notino here in Portugal, but it's far from being what it once was. But nevertheless, if you already have this one, you don't need, and this is a bold statement, this is just my opinion, you don't need Chanel Sycomore. It's just my opinion, guys. This one, it's much richer, it's fuller, it's bold, it's daring, it's much more daring, it's much more masculine, because the vetiver here, it's much more smoky, and you have resinous nuances in here. It's resinous, balsamic, woodsy, dark, opulent type of vetiver, fantastic scent. The Sycomore, it's much more elegant, it's more refined, it's more subtle, and maybe because of that it's more versatile. But for me, I still prefer this one, because even at the current price tag, at least here in Portugal at Notino, for 80 euros for a 100ml bottle size, it's still much more affordable than a full bottle of Sycomore. So another reason why I prefer this one over Sycomore. And so of course, if you already have Lalique, Encre Noire à l'extrême, you don't need Sycomore. But that's my opinion again. But because we are talking about Chanel house, let's talk about Bleu de Chanel EDP, which is for me the best blue fragrance out there. Also, it's the best Bleu de Chanel version. Much better than the Eau de Toilette and much better than the Parfum version. This one feels complete, in my opinion. The performance, it's fantastic, great performance here. I don't have any complaints at all with the performance of the Eau de Parfum version, where in the Eau de Toilette it's much more subtle, and the Parfum sets really close to the skin, and even the longevity, it's not that great. This one for me, it's very well balanced, the most balanced version of the Bleu de Chanel line, and also of course this has the Chanel quality. It's much better than Sauvage, it's much better than Dylan Blue, than Aqua Atlantique, than any other type of blue fragrance. If you want a blue fragrance, just go with Bleu de Chanel. I know it's much more expensive, but I mean, you can't go wrong with this one. You don't need any other type of blue fragrances. This one will serve perfectly the occasion. Bleu de Chanel EDP, a fantastic, very versatile, great performance, blue type of scent. And last, but certainly not least, we have a fragrance here from the house of Nishane, and it is Hacivat. This one right here, I don't know if you can see it clearly, but it's Hacivat. Of course, if you already have Hacivat, you don't need Aventus, nor you need any kind of Aventus inspired or clone fragrance. Now, that said, this is not a clone, this is not that similar to Aventus. The only similarity that they have, it's the pineapple, where in here it's much more prominent, it's much fuller, it's juicy, and it's more realistic. But also this fragrance is much more creamy, and it has more depth in my opinion, and also the performance, it's incredible. I already did a review of Hacivat by Nishane, so I'll leave the link here so you can check it out. But again, this is not that similar to Aventus. It has this pineapple, slightly smoky vibe that Aventus has, but that's it. This has much more things going on. It's its own scent, has its own character, but still, if you want a pineapple fragrance, just go with Hacivat from Nishane. Great fragrance right here, and of course Nishane, it's also one of my all-time favorite niche houses. So guys, Hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comments down below what you thought of this topic. What are your thoughts of some fragrances that if you already have, so you don't need other fragrances that go in the same scent character, in the same genre? Tell me everything in the comments down below, and see you in the next video. Stay safe, wash your hands frequently. Ciao.